Raducanu will not take part in the United States exhibition with Alcaraz. Stay until the end to see how Alcaraz reacted to this news. British player Emma Raducanu, winner of the 2021 US Open, will miss the exhibition on December 7 and 8 in the United States, where Carlos Alcaraz will participate alongside João Fonseca, Frances Tiafoe, and Amanda Anisimova. Raducanu, who is estimated to lose £500,000, €570,000, for not taking part in this tournament, will be replaced by American Jessica Pegula, the sixth-ranked player. A foot problem has prevented Raducanu from joining Alcaraz, Fonseca and Anisimova in this two-day exhibition that will take place in New Jersey on December 7 and in Miami on December 8. Frances Roch's pupil will continue her training in Barcelona with the Spanish coach before traveling to Australia to prepare for the first Grand Slam of the year, which begins on January 12. Carlos Alcaraz has reacted to the news of Emma Raducanu's absence from the exhibition on December 7 and 8 in the United States, an event where the Spaniard will share the stage with João Fonseca, Frances Tiafoe, and Amanda Anisimova. The withdrawal of the British player, caused by a foot problem, surprised the world number one just days before traveling to the US to compete. Alcaraz, who was looking forward to meeting Raducanu again after several months without crossing paths on court, expressed that he completely understands the situation. Emma wrote to me to apologize and to wish me luck in the exhibition. I told her that the important thing is for her to be healthy for 2025. She's an incredible player, and the last thing she needs is to force an injury 1 month before Australia, the Spaniard said during one of his training sessions in Murcia. According to sources close to his team, the Spaniard expected Raducanu's presence to give the event a special media boost, especially because of the mix of styles and the relaxed atmosphere that usually surrounds these exhibitions. Even so, Alcaraz said that the addition of Jessica Pegula, sixth in the ranking, will be a luxury, and that his motivation remains intact. Alcaraz also noted that he had already planned several light training sessions with Raducanu during the trip, something that will now not take place. It's a shame. We had planned to hit together in Miami before the second day of the exhibition. I love her energy on court and it's always fun to train with her, but there will be time during the season, he said with a laugh. The Spaniard took the opportunity to send Raducanu a message of support. The most important thing is that she recovers well. She's coming off a complicated year and I know she's working really hard in Barcelona. I hope she can start strong in Australia because the tour needs her. Despite the British player's absence, Alcaraz said that the event still has a spectacular lineup and that he will approach it as perfect preparation before heading to Melbourne. The Spaniard plans to travel to New Jersey on December 5 and complete his last 2 training sessions there before stepping on court on the 7th. With Raducanu absent, Alcaraz will focus solely on ending the year with good feelings and using the exhibition to reconnect with the American crowd. Alcaraz and Sinner respond and clarify their relationship. The two best tennis players in the world analyze their relationship and their personal seasons in a joint interview. Tennis players Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner took part in a joint conversation for CNN Sports, hosted by Amanda Davis, in which they shared reflections on their relationship on and off the court, in the context of the 2025 NITO ATP Finals. In this exclusive interview, both assured that, off the court, we forget the rivalry. During the conversation, Alcaraz joked about how often he sees Sinner, more than my mother. Both highlighted that, while on the court they compete with the intensity expected from two players fighting for the world number one, off the court their relationship is one of respect and companionship. Sinner said, when you train together, you see each other in the locker room, so it's natural to get to know each other more and more. The video of the interview shows relaxed moments, with jokes, personal comments, as well as a tactical reality, the rivalry between the two best players on the tour. However, Alcaraz himself clarifies, the word rivalry stays in the professional part. For example, in 2025 Alcaraz and Sinner have faced each other repeatedly in Grand Slam finals and Masters tournaments. This year, Alcaraz won the US Open and Roland Garros against Sinner, just as the Italian beat the Spaniard at Wimbledon. The fact that they train together, see each other on the tour both as rivals and as companions in parallel events, and have met in multiple finals, reinforces Alcaraz's joke about seeing Sinner more than his mother. And that, according to the Spaniard, never tires me. Impactful message from Alcaraz after Spain's defeat in the Davis Cup. Carlos Alcaraz has posted a message on his social media after Spain's loss, first congratulating the Italians and then making it clear that he is very proud of the Spanish players by explicitly saying, "Muy grandes." The two best players in the world were absent from the tournament for different physical and strategic reasons. The final does not feature the two best tennis players on the planet, Carlos Alcaraz, world number one, and Jannik Sinner, world number 2, are not representing Spain and Italy, respectively. Both players, number 1 and 2 in the world rankings, are absent for different physical and strategic reasons. Carlos Alcaraz, who is going to be part of the Spanish team led by David Ferrer, will not be able to play due to an edema in the hamstring of his right leg, a diagnosis made after the Masters final against Sinner. Following medical advice, he must avoid competing in order to recover. The final does not feature the two best tennis players on the planet. Carlos Alcaraz, world number 1, and Jannik Sinner, world number 2, are not representing Spain and Italy, respectively. Both players, number 1 and 2 in the world rankings, are absent for different physical and strategic reasons. Carlos Alcaraz, who is going to be part of the Spanish team led by David Ferrer, will not be able to play due to an edema in the hamstring of his right leg, an injury diagnosed after the Masters final against Sinner. By medical recommendation, he must avoid competing to recover. For his part, Jannik Sinner decided not to participate in order to prioritize his rest and preparation ahead of the 2026 season and the Australian Open, after a demanding year that included withdrawals due to cramps in previous tournaments. As for their history, Italy and Spain have faced each other several times in the Davis Cup. Italy has a slight advantage with 7 series won compared to Spain's 6, although La Roja has not lost to Italy since 1997 and has won the last 3 series in a row. Host nation Italy, without its star Jannik Sinner, defeated Spain 2-0 in the Davis Cup final this Sunday in Bologna, earning their 3rd consecutive title. In addition to their 2023, 2024 and now 2025 titles, Italy won this iconic men's tennis competition in 1976, bringing their total to 4 in history. Flavio Cobolli, world number 22, secured the decisive point in a tough match in which he had to come back against Jaume Munar, number 36, by 1-6, 7-6, 7/5, 7-5, after Matteo Berrettini, number 56, won the first singles match against Pablo Carreño, number 89, 6-3, 6-4. Italy had been shaken emotionally upon learning they would have to face this final phase without their national star Sinner, world number 2, and also without Lorenzo Musetti, number 8, but their week in Bologna was perfect, winning each of their ties 2-0 and giving emotional moments to their fans with comebacks and memorable matches. They first beat Austria on Wednesday in the quarterfinals and then Belgium on Friday, without losing a single match in a final phase held for the first time in their territory after several years in Spain. No country had won 3 consecutive Davis Cups since the United States won 5 straight titles between 1968 and 1972. In the historical record, Italy and its 4 Davis Cups are still far behind the 32 titles held by the US and even behind Spain's 6, which last lifted the trophy in 2019. For the 2nd consecutive year, Italy can also boast of having achieved a double in the same year in the main national tennis competitions, having also defended their Billie Jean King Cup title, the women's equivalent of this tournament. Big absentees. Sinner had declined to participate this week in Bologna to have more time to prepare for the 2026 season and the Australian Open in January, where he will defend the title. Musetti, for his part, was ruled out due to his physical condition and the imminent birth of his 2nd child. Spain also arrived weakened in Bologna, without world number 1 Alcaraz, injured in his right leg, and without Alejandro Davidovich, number 14, who was not selected by captain David Ferrer. The highest-ranked ATP player present this week in Bologna was German Alexander Zverev, number 3, whose team was eliminated on Saturday by Spain in the semi-finals. With this tournament, men's tennis closes its 2025 season, with only the ATP Next Gen Masters left to be played this year, December 17th to 21st. The next date on the calendar will be, at the start of 2026, the United Cup, a mixed national team event that begins on January 2nd in Australia, before the first ATP events of the new season in Brisbane, Australia, and Hong Kong starting January 5th. The ATP Tour has closed another electrifying year, marked by the consolidation of a new rivalry that promises to dominate tennis for the next decade, that of Jannik Sinner versus Carlos Alcaraz. But this time we are not talking about titles, points or match statistics, we're talking about money. Because the 2025 season has produced a financial ranking that reflects, better than any other chart, who the true superstars of the sport are. The prize money report of the year confirms what was already visible on the court. Sinner and Alcaraz have ruled the tour. And they have done so with a huge gap over the rest. Between the two of them, they accumulated more than $37 million, a figure that leaves their pursuers far behind. Never since the Federer-Nadal-Djokovic era had a duo generated so much expectation and so much prize money. With $19.12 million, Jannik Sinner not only completed the most lucrative season of his career but one of the most profitable in modern tennis history. The Italian, who finished the year losing the world number 1, continued collecting titles throughout the year, along with important finals and almost robotic consistency. That allowed him to turn his tennis explosion into a real economic phenomenon. Sinner has been present in all the major stages, where the checks are bigger and the pressure greater. His reliability in important tournaments allowed him to dominate the financial ranking. At 24, he's already moving in figures worthy of a legendary player. If Sinner reigns, Alcaraz is right behind him. And the margin between both proves it. Barely $317,000 separate the Italian from the Spaniard. With $18.803 million accumulated, Carlos Alcaraz once again proved that his tennis is pure spectacle and, at the same time, an economic engine for the tour. The Spaniard, winner of Roland Garros and the US Open, continues to be a money-generating machine in every tournament he enters. Alcaraz doesn't just attract crowds, he draws global attention, huge audiences, commercial interest, and of course, millions in prize money. His mix of explosiveness, charisma and willingness to take risks has made him a central figure in world sport. The Italian dedicated some beautiful words to Carlitos after being crowned for the second consecutive year at the ATP Finals. Carlos Alcaraz could not beat Jannik Sinner in the final of the ATP Finals. The Spaniard delivered a great performance, but the Italian's solidity ultimately prevailed in a match that was evenly contested for most of the time. Only the details, in Sinner's favor, ended up deciding the final and his second consecutive Masters title. It is his second crown in Turin, all without dropping a single set. Even so, the world number 1 belongs to Alcaraz this season, as the Spaniard secured it in the group stage. Regarding that, Sinner took the opportunity to dedicate some kind words to Carlitos after the final. Despite their rivalry on court, they maintain a great relationship. "If I'm not number 1, I want you to be," Jannik said during the trophy ceremony. Both he and Carlos exchanged emotional messages after yet another great final between them.